I welcome you all to my channel. Today we will learn the concepts which are required to understand reducing and non-reducing sugars. These concepts will help you to understand why some sugars are called as reducing while others are called as non-reducing. That is, we will learn the meaning of acetal, hemiacetal, ketal, hemiketal, why glucose is called as a hemiacetal and why fructose is called as a hemiketal. Let's begin. An acetal is an organic compound which is formed due to interaction between one alcohol containing molecule with an aldehyde containing molecule. See, this is the first molecule. It is having aldehyde group as the functional group, and this R can be one big organic fragment or can be one hydrogen molecule also, hydrogen atom also. So this R can be one hydrogen or organic fragment. But this R should have one aldehyde as functional group. And when such molecule interacts with another molecule containing alcohol as the functional group, due to their interaction, we will get one organic compound, and that compound will be called as hemiacetal. Now, when this hemiacetal will interact with one more alcohol containing group or alcohol containing compound, then we will get one acetal. Let's see this in detail. See over here, this alcohol oxygen is having lone pair of electrons. This will attack this carbonyl carbon, and because of which this bonded pair of electron will shift towards oxygen, and this oxygen will develop a slight negative charge, because of which it will bond with this hydrogen. So see over here, this carbon is bonded with oxygen which is drawn in black, and this oxygen is now bonded with this hydrogen drawn in blue, and this carbon is now attached with this OR2. This R2 can be one organic fragment, but it should not be hydrogen, because if it would be hydrogen, then this will become a water molecule. So this R2 should be one organic fragment. This R1 can be organic fragment. For example, a big organic substituent can be present over here, or hydrogen atom can be also present. So now this carbon is bonded with OR2, H is with O, R1 and H are as usual. So this molecule is now called as hemiacetal. Now this hemiacetal interacts with a second alcohol containing group, and now this OH and H, both these molecules will leave this reaction in the form of water molecule. So this is a condensation reaction. See over here, H in blue, O and H in green. These three atoms leave this reaction in the form of a water molecule. The remaining things, they bond with each other. So this middle carbon is now attached with OR3 of the second alcohol containing group. Now the other things are as usual. This carbon is now attached with R1, H and OR2, and the third group is OR3. So this is our acetal. So the difference between hemiacetal and acetal is hemiacetal is having one OH, whereas an acetal is having OR3, and as usual this R3 should be also one organic fragment. And now this molecule is called as acetal. This carbon is our hemiacetal carbon, and this R1 is the hemiacetal group, which was the part of this aldehyde containing group. This is the reaction where we saw the meaning of hemiacetal and acetal. Now we will see how glucose is called as a hemiacetal. As you all know, in aqueous solution, a glucose can exist either in cyclic form or in open structure, that is Fischer projection, cyclic structure, that is Haworth projection, and when we try to draw the three-dimensional structure of glucose on two-dimensional space, that is on a piece of paper, we can use either Fischer projection, that is open chain structure, or Haworth projection, that is cyclic structure. And in nature, that is in aqueous solution also, glucose is mostly seen in this form, that is cyclic form, but few molecules of glucose can be seen in Fischer projection also. And they keep on converting themselves, that is The cyclic form keeps converting into open chain structure. Open chain structure keeps converting itself into cyclic structure. So this interconversion is taking place continuously in an aqueous solution. During this interconversion, the fifth chiral carbon, that is the farthest chiral carbon in glucose, the farthest chiral carbon is carbon number 5. We have talked about this. The fifth carbon, which is the farthest chiral carbon from the carbonyl carbon, the hydroxyl group of this fifth carbon interacts with the carbonyl carbon, and due to this interaction, the fissure projection, that is the open chain structure of glucose, gets converted into cyclic form, that is Haworth projection, and we can use any of these projections to show the structure of glucose. But in aqueous solution, these both are found, and during this conversion only we get a hemiacetal. See, as you all know, a hemiacetal is formed only due to interaction between two molecules or two compounds having, one is containing aldehyde as functional group and another is containing alcohol as functional group. See, this is C double bond O, so our C double bond O is over here. Then C is attached with H, so our H is also here. Now we have to search R1. In fissure projection, these three carbon molecules, atoms, can be called as this R1. As I have already told, this R1 can be an organic fragment or hydrogen molecule atom also. So over here, this R1 is our organic fragment. That is, this part of glucose is R1. So we have found our this compound in glucose. Now let's search this one. OH is there. Now this OH is attached with R2, and this R2 must be one organic fragment. So this region of glucose, or this portion of glucose, is our R2. Now this oxygen interacts with this carbonyl carbon. So over here, this oxygen interacts with this carbonyl carbon, and as due to this interaction, this carbon is attached with O, and O gets attached with H. So COH. Now we will search for that same thing. Due to this interaction, this C is bonded with O, and this O is bonded with this blue H. So COH. So we have found our COH, H. R1 is this one. This group is our R1. This group is our R1. Now we have to search for R2. OR2. Here is our O, and this is our R2. So this is our hemiacetal group, the structure of which is similar to the reaction which I have already told. Now this will get converted into a ring form, as this is our intermediate. Now let's convert this structure into ring form. Start with O. I have already explained these things. So O we have written over here. Now this O is attached with fifth carbon and first carbon. So this is our first carbon. This is our fifth carbon. So we will try to locate everything over here so that we can confirm that glucose is our hemiacetal. So this O is attached with C1. So this O attached with C1, that is carbonyl carbon. So this is our C. This C is over here. This C is attached with OH. This C is attached with H. So this C is attached with H. Now this C is attached with R1. Our R1, as I have already told, that our R1 is this group. This whole group is R1. Now we will search for OR2. This is our O, and this is our R2. This is R1. A glucose in its cyclic form, that is Haworth projection, can be called as cyclic hemiacetal. And during this conversion of fissure to Haworth only, we see the hemiacetal form of glucose. Now we will see what is ketal and hemiketal, and why fructose is called a hemiketal. A fructose is called as a hemiketal because it contains ketone as the functional group. And as we have seen for glucose, which is called as a hemiacetal, in fructose also the ketone carbon interacts with the hydroxyl group of the farthest chiral carbon. Here also the farthest chiral carbon is the fifth carbon, whereas the ketone carbon is located in the second position, that is the second carbon is our ketone carbon. and an interaction takes place between this ketone carbon, that is functional group carbon, and hydroxyl group of the farthest chiral carbon, because of which this fructose is called as a hemiketal. Because in hemiketal, a molecule containing hydroxyl group as the functional group interacts with another molecule containing ketone as the functional group. Over here, this hydroxyl group, the oxygen of this hydroxyl group, the lone pair, interacts with this ketone carbon, because of which this H is now bonded with O, and this OR double dash is now bonded with C. So this C over here is now bonded with 4 different groups, that is O, H, R, R dash and OR dash. So this is our hemiketal. This is the hemiketal carbon. Now this hemiketal, similar to hemiacetal, interacts with another molecule which contains alcohol as the functional group. And now over here, this OH and this green H, these 3 atoms, they leave this reaction in the form of water molecule, and now this R, C, O, R double dash, R dash is present along with OR3 of the second group containing hydroxyl molecule as functional group. So this OR3 is now bonded with this ketone carbon, and this is a ketal. So the difference between hemiketal and ketal is the presence of 4 different substituents in case of hemiketal. That is, this 4 types of R is present in ketal, whereas in hemiketal 3 different R groups are present. Now let's see how fructose is a hemiketal. Similar to glucose, when fructose converts itself from Fischer projection to Haworth projection, hemiketal formation takes place. That is, this hydroxyl group interacts with the ketone carbon, as a result of which this hydrogen is now bonded with this O, see over here, and now when this intermediate, which is hemiketal, will be converted into Haworth projection, that Haworth projection will be also a hemiketal. See, this O is over here, and this carbon is the second carbon. So this is our carbon number 2, which is the anomeric carbon in case of fructose, and this is our 5th carbon. And now this second carbon is this carbon, and this OH is this OH, and the R group over here is CH2OH. So our CH2OH is the R group. This R dash is these 2 carbon atoms. So over here this whole group is R dash, and this OR double dash is over here. This O is similar to this one, and this R double dash group is this one. A fructose in its cyclic form, that is Haworth projection, can be called as cyclic hemiketal. During a disaccharide formation, we get a acetal. That is, this is our disaccharide and this is the acetal, which is formed due to glycosidic bond in between one hemiacetal and one alcohol containing organic molecule. This maltose is formed when alpha D glucose forms glycosidic bond with beta D glucose. Our alpha D glucose is a hemiacetal molecule. A glucose is a hemiacetal, we have already seen. And when this hemiacetal interacts with a second molecule containing alcohol, we saw the formation of a acetal. So over here, the hemiacetal, when interacts with alcohol containing organic molecule, we get a acetal. See over here, this is our hemiacetal. We will start from this. That is, this is our OH. This is this central carbon. This R1 is this group, whole group is R1, and this OR2 is over here. This is O, this is our R2, and this H is this. So this is our hemiacetal. Now this interacts with R3OH over here. This is our OH, and this whole group is R3. And due to this interaction, we will get one acetal. See, this is our acetal. This C is this one. Then this H is this one. R1 is this group, whole group is R1. and OR2 is over here. OR2. Now let's see where is OR3. This is O, and this one, whole this beta-D glucose is our R3, and water molecule is released during the formation of glycosidic bond. That is, this is a condensation reaction, and this water molecule includes this H, this red H, this blue H, and one O. So water molecule is released. So over here, this molecule is acetal, but this molecule is hemiacetal. The same thing happens when a sucrose molecule is formed and a lactose molecule is formed, and you can check the same process in your copy when you will practice sucrose and lactose. These concepts are very much required when I will tell you about the reducing and non-reducing sugar. With this, we come to the end of this video. In our next lecture, we will talk about reducing and non-reducing sugars. You can join the Telegram channel, the link of which is given in the description box, and ask any doubt directly to me. Thank you for watching.